here at the Maplewood in downtown Cincinnati, and I'm here to show you today some great tacos that are super easy and super simple to do with your kids. They'll love them. It's great for a weeknight or a weekend. So we're gonna make, I'm gonna talk about the Picadillo, which is essentially a taco meat. It's super simple, and then we're gonna make fresh corn tortillas, which are easy to make in your house. I have some toppings here as well that we'll talk about. First, I want to tell you about the Picadillo. So Picadillo is a traditional Hispanic dish. So this is a twist on it. Classically, it comes with carrots and olives and raisins in it. But this one, I just used a pre-made salsa, which is super simple. So I took onions and green bell peppers. I sauteed them a little bit with garlic. I used the Laura's lean beef, and I added some chorizo for a little bit of fat and a little bit of flavor. And then I just put some salsa in there, heated it up. It was super simple. The nice thing about this is you can pre-make it, keep it in your refrigerator, and just heat it as you need it. So I always tell people, throw a jar of salsa in there, whether it's a fresh salsa from the grocery store or even, just your normal store brand. And I think it makes a great dish. I added a little bit of chili powder, a little bit of cumin, just to add to enhance the flavor a little bit for sure. So I'm gonna make these corn tortillas. Corn tortillas are very easy to make in a house. I've got my griddle from home, and what you wanna start with is maseca, which is a corn flour. You can find that at any grocery store in the flour aisle. So this is just corn flour. We have some hot water here, salt, and a little bit of Crisco. You can use any type of fat, and you also don't have to use it. I like it. It makes the tortilla a little bit more pliable. If you're feeling a little risky, you could use lard, just straight lard as well, if you really want that authentic Mexican flavor in it. So I'm going to start here making the dough. It's really easy. I'm just going to use gloved hands. Obviously, you don't need to use gloved hands at home, but I don't have a sink to wash my hands, so I'm going to use it here. So I've already measured this out. It's 1 1/4 cups of the maseca. I'm going to put it right in the bowl. A tablespoon of kosher salt. And then I've got 1 cup of hot water. So the thing with the water is, it's best to measure it out, but you might need a little bit more depending on how much the corn kind of sucks up the water. So you might need a little bit more. So I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna just mix it with my hands and just form a dough. As you can see, that corn just kind of sucks up the water pretty quickly. So I'm gonna add a little bit more. Just add a little bit at a time. You can always, add more. And if it's too wet, just add a little bit of more maseca. So the texture that you're kind of looking for is like a wet dough feel. So I'm just gonna kind of move it around to make sure I get all of that corn flour. Oops. You can see how it's kind of a little wet here. Just gonna form a ball with it. This is pretty much where you want to look. You want it to be easy to work with, not too dry and not too wet. So what I've done here is I've got the cast iron tortilla press. They come in different types. You can get a wood one or just this classic one. Most grocery stores even sell these. I use a Ziploc bag. This is really the best thing to make it the easiest to get the tortilla out. I just take the Ziploc bag and cut off the top and cut off the sides for the inside of the tortilla press. So you want to open it up. You put one down on the bottom. You're going to take it's about 1.5 ounces and make a ball. Now they're good if you have one of these scoops at home. It's right about that same portion. If you do anything bigger, it's going to be too big for the tortilla press. So this is a perfect size. You just want to ball it up. When you set it in there, you don't want it directly in the center. You want it a little bit more towards this side, because what happens is when you press it down, it's going to kind of move it that way. So a little off center. Put your little baggie on the top. Put it down and you just press it. When you're taking it off, I'll just usually peel one layer. Peel the other layer. Just right onto your griddle. So it's about 450 degrees. And then you can continue from there. I will tell you that when you start these, your first couple may be really sticky until the Ziploc bag kind of gets worked a little bit. So you might see if your first couple are a little tough, just keep going and then they'll eventually release. My kids love these tortillas though. Once I started making them, they said, Mom, we'll never go back to the store brand. You can sell, I know you can't smell, but it's really fragrant. So when you're putting them on the tortilla, you can do about 8 at a time. I love this size too because they're perfect for kids. They're perfect for little hands. So when you're watching it, you'll see it maybe puff up a little bit like a pita, then you'll know it's ready. You just flip it over. You notice if you're making these and the dough kind of sits there for a little bit, maybe 15 minutes or longer, may need a little bit of more water because that cornmeal just so keeps sucking out the water in it. The awesome thing about these tortillas is your kids can sit here and do them and roll the little balls and press them. My little one loves to do this. Okay. So right when they're done, you can see that they're starting to get a little golden color on there, a little puffy. These are ready to go. So I've got some started over here. I'm just going to add them right there. And that's it. So we've got 3 that are made over here. I've got some just fresh cilantro. Fresh cilantro I think really like makes the taco because I don't know.
Super fresh.
It's so fresh. Yeah. Sorry. A pico de gallo. Just tomatoes, cilantro, red onions, a little bit of salt, a little bit of lime juice, that's it. It's super simple. Little shredded romaine hearts, and then fresh Monterey Jack cheese. So you can shred it, you can buy it, however. If you're in a super rush, buy the pre-made at the store. It's ready to go. So I don't know, that's it. So,
perfect. Great taco night.
I hope you guys enjoy this, and I guess we'll see you soon. Thank you.